People have become so complacent.
Pretty much, but that's the reason why, because it's sad when, what was it? They said, you wonder why people are fat when a double cheeseburger is $1 and a salad's $5, you know?
Well, yeah. That's because we let huge corporations take over our industries. It's not just in the food industry either.
Oh no, that's true. That's true.
Like down here, like everybody is fleeing California to move to Texas. Elon Musk and all these other fuckers. But they don't, because they got all these problems in California, but they don't want to fix these problems, right? They're fleeing California because they want to go to Texas so they don't have to pay incomes.
Same thing
they don't have
Tennessee.
they don't have to pay state tax or sales tax in Texas. They have they have really high property taxes and really high utility bills. But I'm guessing like fucking Elon Musk or somebody just got a deal for Texas. They get 100% rebate on property taxes. It's like, what?
Yeah, same thing with a bunch of corporations come here, like Amazon. You know, Amazon built one of their headquarters here in Nashville. The city gave them $15 million, like, to come here.
I mean, I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
I love certain aspects of capitalism, and other aspects I loathe.
Dang, it's storming, dude. I can hear it raining hitting my roof right now.
Are you getting a rainstorm in?
Hell of a storm right now.
I like it when it rains and storms.
Sleep.
It's relaxing to me. Meanwhile, like girls I've dated or the people, the dogs and the cats are all fucking hiding in the bedroom, you know. And I'm just like, oh yeah, love the sound of that rain and thunder.
Josh Brooks got it right.
All right, so I guess are we waiting on Paul? Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey guys.
Hey, James.
Let's find out about this Pidlwick character.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, we will be doing a little bit of that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go over and turn down the music.
I feel like everybody knows what's going to happen but me.
I don't know.
And
I don't know what's going to happen. I've never played this before.
I've never versus Strahd.
All right, music is off.
I've only done the Escape from Castle Ravenloft, but that don't give you a lot of information.
Mm.
So it's that one that choose your own adventure. It don't really give you a lot of information about it.
They need an Escape from LA or an Escape from New York D&D versions.
They've made a bunch of John Carpenter escape games, or not escape games, tabletop games now.
Yeah, but for D&D, I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right, everybody, welcome to session 38 of the Sword Coast Chronicles. I am DM Galabond, and I am joined tonight so far by Ken playing Falishur, by James playing Mulek, and by Michael playing Thaldor. We are waiting for, and hopefully we will be joined by Paul, who plays Krenraid this evening. Last time we met these heroes, they were in the little town of Vallaki. And more specifically, they were at the toy shop of Blinsky, the master toy maker, who is no Blinsky, is no fun, is his motto for all of the toys. And they were there because little Arabelle's father, Lugash, from the Vistani camp, had told them that Blinsky probably was the best person to tell them more information about this little character that they discovered last week, and that little character being this guy here. And indeed, Blinsky has named this Pidlwick, is the name he has given to this character. And when we finished last time, they were just getting ready to sit down to some tea, and he was going to tell them a little bit of the story of Pidlwick, or at least as far as he is aware of it. So what Blinsky tells you is that the patron of Fritz von Weerg was a duke named Delisnia, and this duke perished in battle, and his widow, the Duchess Dorfnia, had a court jester named Pidlwick, and the Duchess, once she was widowed, she had designs on moving up in the world. And the way that she thought she would move up is if she could catch the eye of the Lord of Barovia, Count Strahd von Zarevich himself, who lives in the big castle up on the high bluff. And so she, the Duchess, she became a visitor to the castle on a regular basis. And the fool Pidlwick was a great favorite among Strahd's family. His brother and his brother's bride to be. And so Strahd, allowed the Duchess to come to the castle because his brother and his soon-to-be sister-in-law enjoyed the fool there. But at some point, the Pidlwick, the human fool, he died, and that made Strahd's future sister-in-law especially very sad. So the Duchess saw an opportunity to perhaps curry favor with Strahd by having her having the toy maker that she was, who was still a patron, or her family was still a patron to him, had Fritz create this magical, mystical little construct that would be a likeness of Pidlwick. And when she brought the doll to the castle, instead of it being greeted with wonder the way that she had hoped, the bride of Strahd's brother thought it was a creepy toy and wanted nothing to do with it. And because of that, Strahd banished the Duchess from the castle, and she was never able to return there. And there were many stories about what happened to the Pidlwick doll. Blinsky says that several of the stories say that the doll was destroyed at that point. But obviously...
Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Hey, no problem. Welcome, Paul. Obviously, it was not, because it wound up somehow in the possession of the Vistani. But he says, Blinsky says, I would, it would be, I would be honored if this is a thing that you do not want. I would be honored to keep it and study it and see if I can keep it in good repair. And I would cherish this as an amazing gift.
This itself was just a gift to us. So you don't know what this doll can do?
I do not. It was meant to entertain. And as you can see, when we told it to entertain, indeed it juggled and it danced. But I do not know anything else that it might be able to do. It's curious that Fritz von Weerge gave it that little club that it holds. I wonder what it.
Yeah, very curious. Yeah. I don't know. Thaldor? Alistair, what do you think?
Look over and I speak in Elvish. Alistair can hear me too. It's like, I don't think we should let this man keep this toy.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give it up either. I reply in Elvish.
I'd say in Elvish.
Okay, you say that in Elvish, Mulek?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think I can speak. Yeah, I speak Elvish.
Okay. As soon as you say that in Elvish, the little Pidlwick doll comes over, and with its little hand, it just seems to kind of grab onto your trousers and looks up at you.
Oh, no. You're staying with us, Pidlwick. I wouldn't give you away. Mr. Blinsky, I appreciate what you've told us, but I don't think I'm ready to part with little Pidlwick here yet.
Oh, I certainly could not blame you. It is a marvelous creation. Now, would you like me to do any sort of inspection to be sure that it's in top working order?
I look down at Pidlwick and ask, not knowing if it will understand. Pidlwick, do you mind if Mr. Blinsky here gives you a look over, make sure you're working all correctly? And I wait to see if it responds or doesn't.
It looks up at you, and it looks at Blinsky, and then it looks up at you, and then it looks at Blinsky. And I guess because of the angle, Mulek couldn't see this, but the other three of you see when it looks back at Blinsky, its little mouth opens and you see a little tube inside its mouth. And Blinsky says, "Oh no! That's okay. That's
What's
okay.
happening? What's going on?"
Do you remember last session where he fired? Where I think he was going to fire something out of that tube in his mouth. He's opened his mouth like he's going to fire at Blinsky.
No, yeah, I was in character asking. So,
sorry,
because Mulek doesn't see what's going on, so I'm asking, what's going on?
I don't think he wants me to touch him.
Oh, okay.
And then as soon as Blinsky says that, the rest of you can see the little mouth close.
Did Mulek see that, or still didn't see that? Right?
Probably. I guess now, if you're kind of bending down, looking at it, you would see that the mouth had been open and then it closed when.
Okay. Pidlwick, you must not attempt to harm anyone without my permission. Do you understand?
And he looks up at you and he nods.
Okay. You can stay with us, Pidlwick.
And there's, as we've established, this thing doesn't have any kind of articulation on its eyes or on its face other than the mouth, which is just a solid thing where the entire chin and lower lip just sort of slides down to reveal that tube and then slides back up into place. And even though it doesn't have that ability, there's just, you can almost sense that it seems happy.
Did you say it can nod? It can move its head left or right or up and down?
It can nod. It can shake its head. It can nod. As we saw last week, it can spin its head all the way around 360 degrees.
That's right. Okay.
Oh, freaking Exorcist.
We appreciate the history lesson, Mr. Blinsky. Is there anything else you can tell us about this town? We kind of found ourselves here in the area. We aren't quite familiar.
Mulek, wait.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Mulek, wait. He's got that book and it's got commands in it. I'd like to take a look at that book. It's got the commands for Pidlwick in it. I'd love to take a look at that book real quick. And plus, I would remember everything in the book if I read it.
Well, yeah. So out of character, last week he had the book and he was gave the order. And so when I was asking for more tonight, I would have been under the same impression that there was some kind of instruction book, but.
Well, he will gladly show you the book, and actually, the book does not have any explicit instructions recorded. It basically tells a version of the story that I shared with you guys, how it was commissioned by the Duchess after her husband died, and she had been wanting to gain favor with Count Strahd. The doll, instead of fascinating the other people in Strahd's castle, it sort of creeped them out. And then, when that happened, Strahd banished the Duchess and the doll from the castle, and they were, and she was never allowed back. Now, the curious thing is, the way they talk, it sounds like this happened a long, long, long time ago. It doesn't really record when, but it just makes it seem like this happened a really long time ago.
Okay.
So what you can infer from that, Thaldor, from reading that, and Mulek as well, that Blinsky knows it was intended to be an entertainment, a toy that would entertain people, like a fool would entertain people, and so he probably just took a chance that, by hearing its name and being asked to entertain, it would do something.
Got you. So,
And in fact, if you ask him, he would tell you as much. He said, "Well, it was meant to entertain, so I took a chance that asking it to entertain would at least confirm." Yes, I am. I am not sure. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it open its mouth that way before?
Once.
Did it by chance do anything? I got rather uneasy.
Yeah, we didn't let it go any further than that. I told Pidlwick to stop, although I didn't know his name at the time. We didn't chance what was going to happen, so that is going to take a little bit more investigating on our part.
Okay, very well. Yes, Von Weerg was a genius, in my opinion.
A genius, yeah, but maybe not a very good aesthetic kind of person. That thing freaks me the hell out.
And Blinsky will look at Krenraid and say, "Nonsense! It's beautiful."
Beautiful? That? Look, I'll need a few more drinks before we get that.
When Krenraid continues that, I in Dwarvish whisper to Krenraid, "Hey, be careful what you say around Pidlwick. He seems that he might have some hidden agenda or anger issues. We might want not to anger it or give it reason to be mad at you."
Anger the doll?
And Krenraid, while you're having that conversation, I'd like you to make a perception check.
One perception check coming right up. Sorry, I actually slept through my alarm, which is the reason why.
That's all right.
So I do apologize if I'm a bit groggy. One perception check coming right.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, Krenraid, you're kind of shocked initially when Blinsky says this thing is beautiful, but then you think about some of the toys back here in his workshop that have caught your eye. 18, you've probably seen at least 3 of these. So one that you see a headless doll that comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one head that has its eyes and mouth stitched shut. There is another toy that's a miniature gallows, complete with a trapdoor and a weighted hanged man. And then there's a third toy that's a series of wooden nesting dolls. The smaller each one gets, the older it gets, until the innermost doll is a mummified corpse. So,
yeah, I remember these from walking in, and yeah, they also creeped me the hell out. These kids in Bavaria, like, they got some real weird tastes. All right, and I'm not afraid to stretch that opinion.
Yeah, and so when Blinsky says the doll is beautiful, you kind of judge his sense of what's beautiful by the other toys that he has.
I got it. Don't worry. This guy is in Krenraid's mind. Like, personally, I think it's awesome. But in Krenraid's mind, he's not about it. He thinks they're weird.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, and Mulek seems to be of the opinion that, maybe Mulek is kind of like the Godfather, thinks that you ought to keep Pidlwick close until you figure out whether it's friend or foe.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder, this is in character. I look over at Mulek and I say in Elvish, I wonder if he can talk.
I don't think he can.
Just say speak and see if he says anything.
Pidlwick, speak.
And he looks up at you, and then his little lower jaw just opens and shuts rapidly, several times but no sound comes out.
Look over at the toy maker. Do you know anything if this creature would have, or toy would have a voice box of any sorts?
And Blinsky says, "Oh, I do not know. I think it would have spoken for itself by now if it could speak. Truly, it is remarkable enough, even without the voice box. Don't you think?"
True, I agree. But is there a way to make him talk?
How would we make him talk?
Well, that was asking the toy maker.
Oh,
Not with any magic that I know. I do not. I have heard of powerful magic, but I do not possess any magic myself.
Well, my question has been quelched. Thank you, toy maker.
Oh, you're welcome. And somebody asked about the town.
yes. I was wondering what you could tell us about town, where we might find a good bite to eat, where we might, I don't know, sightsee, what we can do, what we shouldn't do.
Well, the number one thing you should not do is you should not get on the wrong side of Isaac Strasny. He is a very tough customer. If you get my meaning, he is the captain of the guard, and he is almost like the right hand of the burgomeister. Now, I don't want you to take anything amiss about the burgomeister. The burgomeister is a great man. He is a great man. He understands something very, very important. He realizes that the only way to have people be to truly forget their troubles is to make everyone happy. And I try to do my part by making sure all the children of Barovia have access to fun toys. I make them for, and I sell them at the festivals. And about the time he says that, you hear heavy boots on the kind of on the walkway outside the front of the shop, and there is a sound of paper ripping, and then there's the sound of something like scraping on the side of the shop, and then there's a sound of hammering. Bam, 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 bam. And then bam, 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 bam. And Blinsky says, "Oh, that must be the sign for the new festival. I wonder what the burgomeister has planned next. He is always having festivals to raise the spirits of the townspeople. Vallaki is the happiest town in all of Barovia. I am sure of it."
I look over at Mulek and just my head.
Yeah.
Cameron's visibly trying to hold in his laughter.
I almost roll my eyes without him seeing. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Oh, and you asked about food and drink. I would say go to the Blue Water Inn. The Blue Water Inn is is welcoming of visitors. They have comfortable rooms, but I would be very careful. I would not think it wise if Isaac saw too much of little Pidlwick there. I believe if Isaac took a fancy to it, he might try to find some reason that you all have offended the law in Vallaki, and they may try to take it from you.
Never see it.
This is good. And then he looks at Mulek and says, and he smiles. He says, "He seems to like you."
Yes. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Well, all of the time that it has been since the Duchess passed away, must be, that poor thing must be terribly lonely. And at least now it perhaps feels like it has found friends. That is good. Everyone should have friends.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any further questions?
I'm good.
I'm good. I want to see what that piece of paper is. Just point at the window and see something slapped on there.
Well, I guess we've taken up enough of your time, Mr. Blitzky.
Well, if you all are still here in a few days, if you'll need anything, please come to me. I will be happy to answer any questions that I can.
Thank you. And we'll be sure to keep what you told us under wraps.
Oh, much obliged, much obliged.
And I reached down to Pidlwick and said, "All right, Pidlwick, we've got to go now. But we don't want to cause any trouble, so I will have you take a nap now. So please go to sleep."
Is there a place in town or anything that we can get supplies or anything like that?
Supplies? Well, let us see. Yes, Arasik Stockyard. That is a general store and facility where storage sheds can be rented. They also have from time to time they have some horses for sale if you are in need of mounts.
Thinking
I do
more
not know
like
if they have any now.
along the lines of maybe magical things or components and whatnot, supplies like that.
Oh, magical. No.
Not for us.
No,
we
no,
don't
no,
need
no,
them,
no,
but
no.
you know,
I-
we know someone that might.
I do not think there are many places in Barovia, outside of perhaps the Count's Castle itself, where you'll find many magic items.
Well, what about precious gems or things like that? Got to be a mine here in Barovia, right?
Not to my knowledge. I am a humble toy maker. And everybody can go ahead and make me perception checks if you want to.
Yeah, I want to see if any of the toys have jewels as like eyes or as buttons or something else like that.
Okay. All right.
Because Conrad ain't that smart, but he's able to put two and two together.
Okay. Yeah. Mulek and Krenraid. Neither one of you see any jewels around, but when Falliger is asking about magic items and asking about precious gems and things like that, you can see that that this Blinsky is getting rather anxious about this line of questioning. And Mulek, you had a really good check, and you don't think it's the kind of anxious like he feels like you all are trying to fish around to see if he's got anything valuable that you can rob. It's more like he feels that talk like this is dangerous for people in this town. and he kind of would rather that you all be on your way.
I speak to Crinraid in Pig Latin, Ixnay on the magic A.
Affirmate. Yeah, the guards said something similar, so I don't think we should bring that up again. At least not for us, right?
No, as you like to put it, no finger waggling.
Oh, I'm totally fine with that. But finger waggling already confuses me enough. Yeah, don't worry, Blinsky. The whole finger waggling stuff, yeah, we don't do that. It's confusing.
And he says, "Oh, well, it is probably best for you that you do not. I myself am fascinated by magic such as Von Weirg was able to clearly was in possession of to make such a fabulous toy as this one here. But
I'm sure you can make many creepy objects come alive and do all sorts of fun things if you had that kind of magic.
Well, I would hope that you could make fun toys that would bring smiles and joy to the faces of children.
That's a wonderful thought.
While all this is going on, I would have still with Pidlwick. After I told him to go to sleep, lifted him up.
He just sort of looks at you, and you realize that his eyes really don't have any way of blinking or closing or anything like that. So,
okay, I'm trying to train it that when I say go to sleep, I'm going to put you in my bag here. So I lean over and pick him up, and
he doesn't seem to object to you picking him up, and you put him in the bag of holding there.
And I don't notice him doing anything that I would have noticed as kind of threatening or angry or anything. Do I?
Oh no,
okay.
No.
Right.
He seems to be totally fine with that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. All right. So what would you like to do next? You're gonna leave the shop?
Yeah, let's see what these papers are about. Maybe we can get a hint what this festival's doing. Right?
Okay. All right. So yes, Blinsky will, after you put Pidlwick away, Blinsky will go and start opening the drapes, and then he'll go to the door of his shop and he'll unbolt and unlatch the door and open it for you so that you can leave. And as you turn around and look, you can see that the broadside about the Wolf's Head Jamboree has been ripped down, and a new broadside is up. And it says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendance and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well, the Baron." And the toy maker, he says, "Oh, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. This is so much better than even the Wolf's Head Jamboree, and that was a remarkable festival."
Why do they need children, Blinsky?
Oh, well, the children must be happy, so you must bring the children so that they can enjoy the festival and they can be happy, of course. And I am always grateful to the Baron for insisting that families bring their children, because then it gives me an opportunity to sell more toys.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's that's what he really believes, or if there's some kind of underlying?
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and do an insight check if you wish. This toy maker seems incredibly sincere.
Okay.
He seems to think that Wherever it is behind the gray clouds, the sun rises and sets on this Burgomeister.
Okay.
So I'm just going to lean over to the rest of the group and just. Does anyone else think it's kind of weird that they want children specifically to come to this thing, and that like those toys are already weird enough, but they have to be happy? Like, what happens if one of them's sad? Does he just get his head chopped off? What the hell's going on?
Dark quick. No. I don't know. I mean, this village is weird enough as it is. I mean, I couldn't tell you, Grinraid, but who knows? But that is kind of weird.
Maybe it's a culture thing.
A what thing?
Culture. That's how the people live, what they believe, how they conduct their business with one another. Their culture,
Okay, yeah, like someone's daily routine, right?
Exactly.
Oh, it's fancy human words for it.
I'm not going to disagree with Mulek. I'm just going to be like, mm-hmm.
All right. That's a very nice piece of paper. Obviously, the calligraphy was done by someone fancy.
Yes, indeed it was. Okay, so you guys are heading out of the toy shop, which is right about there, and he will Blinsky will tell you that the Blue Water Inn is actually, I guess it's this big building right here. So it's not too terribly far away. It's just to the north, across the big five-way intersection there.
Shall we go grab a bite to eat? What time is it, DM?
Let's see. You guys left late morning. You maybe an hour here. You spent probably an hour with Blinsky, so it's maybe early afternoon. You would know. Yeah, you would know it's an hour past midday.
So everybody,
you cannot see the sun because it's the sky is once again just like you saw it, just like you've seen it all day. It's horizon to horizon, just gray, and lighter gray in some areas, darker gray in other areas. There's no. It doesn't feel like it's about to rain. There's no hint of thunder or anything around, but it's just thick gray sky.
Well, yeah,
and very dreary.
Yeah, I got that sense of foreboding. So yeah, guys, it's about, I'd say if I had to put it at a time, about an hour after midday. How about we go grab a bite to eat at that? What is it? The Blue Hole Inn, something like that. He said.
The Blue Water Inn.
The Blue Water Inn. Excuse me.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
Lunch is on the
I could definitely go for a bite.
I also need to let you know that I've been working on a new spell, but I think
what?
What? We're by ourselves, aren't we? Out of character?
We're right outside the door.
You're outside in the street.
Well, I don't give a damn. Is there anybody in front of me?
Well, let's find out.
Is that like a music thing?
Oh, you're working on a new song, and Thaldor puts quotations up in the air. Song, right?
There's like a few people walking by on the road, but it seems like it's a couple of peasants that are walking down the road, and they appear to be going south, so opposite the way that you are about to go.
So tell me about that new song, Falliger.
Oh, it's not a song, it's a spell.
What the hey? What's going on?
Right. Anyway, like I was saying,
so as a couple of you start shouting, the people walking on the other side of the road, they look up and they look at you like and they realize that you all are strangers, and you can see sort of the mother reflexively reach out for one of the children and pull the child a little closer.
Let's just get to the end.
Seeing
as
that you
quick
all
as
I'm
are
not yelling. I'm just talking like.
well,
my
no,
low
but
voice.
other people are kind of yelling to encourage Falliger to use different terms.
And
Not to mention we're
Falliger,
new in town.
We
These
don't-
peasants might want to, see what we're up to anyway, right?
And we don't know if anyone's watching us.
Falliger's not a fool. He's like, what are y'all guys worried about? Anyway, like I said, I need a considerable valued diamond in order for the spell to work. So, and it might be the difference between you guys coming back from Oblivion or not.
Vacation?
Yeah.
Well,
an extended vacation. But
I get the feeling that it's frowned upon here, but I know we're planning on going back to visit the Vistani in a day or two. They may be able to help point us in the right direction.
I used to
Feel
inlay
like-
all sorts of gems into the stonework back at Hillcrest, so if you want me to have a look at any, let me know.
All right. I just feel like with the Viscani, you want anything decent, you got to give them a kidney or something.
I believe they'll take money. It's okay, or currency. So,
Or a job. We might be able
there
to
you go.
do something for them.
Speaking of which, do they use the same currency that we use? I don't think we've actually paid for anything yet.
You probably haven't. So you probably haven't seen their currency here.
I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
push
to
out
the end.
money down. Yeah, to the end.
Okay.
First round on me.
All right. So
That works for me.
you all go to the inn, and as you get there, or as you get closer, there's no sign of Izek Strasny and his goons or his guards. They don't seem to be anywhere around. And you walk into the inn. As you approach, you see that gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall.
Seems like the place.
Yeah, as you walk in, you open the door, and there are several people sitting in the inn. You see a couple of men sitting at a table. They kind of bear a family resemblance to each other. There's a 2 women in there. They are about middle age. They look like they might be sisters. But everybody here has the same kind of coloration, and they all are dressed like townsfolk, meaning that they all have kind of drab, grayish clothes. None of them are dressed in the garish, bright colors of the Vistani. And there's a man over behind the bar, and he sort of brightens as you all walk in. He says, welcome, friends. Please come in. I am Erwin Martikov, the proprietor of the Blue Water Inn. Please make yourselves at home. Will you have food, drink? What is your pleasure?
Well, I'll get the first round. This man right here will have a glass of water, and us 3 will have an ale. And for this man right here of short stature, he'll have the strongest ale you've got.
Yeah, what you said.
ale. Oh, good sirs. I'm terribly sorry. We are out of ale. However, we do have wines from the Wizard of Wines winery, and we have some purple grape mash number 3, the Red Dragon Crush, and this is essentially all that we have. But now, as for food, we have hot beet soup and fresh bread. And if you wish, we can cook you a wolf steak. There is plenty of wolf after the festival.
Can we get
Wolf?
Can we get 4 wolf steaks? And then let me get 3 glasses of your finest wine, and just leave me 1 or 2 bottles on the table if you don't mind.
Okay. Very well. And the meal, and he looks at you, and he seems to size up the fact that you all, the way you're dressed and with the gear that you have, you must have money. But he seems like it's kind of out of practice that he tells you prices before he starts fixing anything. Says it will be 1 electrum for the meal, the steak, and the soup and the bread, and then it will be 1 silver for each cup of wine, and 1 gold for each bottle.
Thank God they use the same currency we do.
Guys, I don't have any. Look over. Wait, do I have any I do have some electrum. That's just silver. Anyways,
electrum. Yeah, electrum is like 2. There's 2 electrums to a gold. So.
Got you. So
I think
I'll just give him. Well, yeah, electrum is 5 silver pieces.
Yeah. So 2 electrums to a gold.
He said 1 electrum. That's fine.
1 electrum for each meal. 1 silver for each cup of wine, and 1 gold for each bottle of wine.
I just give him 5 gold and don't even count the rest. Here you go, buddy.
And he looks. He says, "Oh," and he just seems. He seems like this may be more money than he's seen in some time. And everybody else except for Thaldor, because Thaldor is busy paying. Everybody else can make me perception checks.
I'm going to choose not to because my mind's lost on wolf steak. That's all I'm thinking about.
All right. Then in that case, you guys notice nothing is amiss. And so he takes your money, and he goes and he disappears into a kitchen, and then you hear let's see, there is a there's 2 brothers over at the over at one table, and they look up kind of as this money is exchanged, and you see one of them sort of smiles and nods in your direction, and the other one just sort of has a vacant look in their eyes.
Would I know if they're trying to pull a con on us or something?
You can make an insight check.
There we go. $14.
14. They don't seem so. As you look around the room, your eyes take in five other people in particular. There's an older man sitting by himself who actually, now that you look at it, the colors of his clothing are muted compared to the Vistani, but he does seem like he's wearing something that at one time was rather colorful, if it's been faded with time. He's an old gray-haired person that sits by himself, and he just sort of kind of looks over and just giving you guys an appraising look. And then there are the two women that you see, the two middle-aged women, and those two women are called Carla and Marina. So we're going to do this. Two women. And you know that because they approach you. And they appear to be perhaps related. Maybe they're not sisters. Maybe they're like cousins or something. And the one introduces herself. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I'm Carla. This is Marina. We haven't seen you here in the Blue Water today yet. What brings you in today?
Just looking to spend some of our earnings.
Wolf steak.
We're hungry and need some relaxation.
Oh, well, this is the place to find it. The Martikovs run a wonderful inn here. A wonderful, wonderful inn. And then you guys hear a snicker from another table. And as you look over, you see two young men. You would guess that they are maybe teenagers. One of them might be 20, but the other one can't be more than about 18. And when Carla talks about the Martikovs running a fine inn, the two of them snicker at each other, and it's clear that these two are very close relatives. They're probably brothers. And you see that there are 2 bottles of wine on their table, and they each have a cup of wine in front of them. And kind of the way they're snickering makes you think that probably most of that bottle of wine is already inside them. They're kind of laughing like a couple of kids that have been drinking all morning. And their clothes are, they're kind of muted in the muted colors of the villagers, but they're very fine. And you think that at least one of them has a silk cloak. So they probably have money.
So DM, when you say they're the clothing's muted, are you saying that they're not as gray as the normal towns?
No. I'm saying that everybody here has like black, white, and shades of gray. Is kind of the tone of the dress
like
of the people in the town. You don't feel like it's intentional. You feel like it's just kind of there, or I should say, not that it's not intentional. It doesn't seem to be a. They don't go out of their way to make their clothes all look the same as you would expect, almost like if people were wearing some sort of a uniform. But it's almost like they don't have the imagination to think of making clothes that are colorful.
Okay, so I guess where I was going with that, or was trying to confirm, is were we noticing a different like shade of like grayness? Meaning, like, is there an effect on the colors over time where one is maybe brighter than another, or they're all pretty much consistent drab, different colors, but just drab and grayish?
Okay, I see what you're asking. The two younger men, they look like they're wearing fancier clothes and newer clothes. So yeah, over time, you know how just like sort of grime and dinginess sort of fades clothes, you know, whether they've been out in the sun too much or they've been washed too many times or whatever, they eventually lose some of the sharpness of their color. And it's the same palette. These young men are wearing the same palette of colors, but they're newer, fancier, and made of a much more fancy material.
Okay.
So they, you know, it's kind of like these are the guys that have the new clothes, and it's almost like everybody else in town is wearing, you know, hand-me-downs from their second or third. That's on their second or third person wearing them, is what it kind of looks like. And then the one older guy with colorful clothing sitting by himself, he clearly he doesn't fit in with everybody else, kind of the way that you all don't fit in with everybody else. And it's more just because the palette of his colors at one time was colorful, not Vistani colorful, but he too, his clothes too have faded over time. So they're not vibrant. All right, so Carlo is asking you a little bit what you guys are doing, and I think Falliger said just trying to spend some money. Now, does Falliger carry an instrument exposed, like where people could see that he has an instrument, or is that all tucked away? Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna go with this. He carries a guitar case.
Okay, he carries a guitar case. All right.
Yeah.
So Carla looks at your guitar case and says, "Ooh, do you play? It's been a long time since there's been any music here at the Blue Water."
I mean, I dabble a little bit.
Oh, well, I certainly hope that perhaps this evening you will favor us all with a song, and maybe she kind of nudges Marina, and she sort of casts her eyes. The two women cast their eyes over the four of you and say, "And maybe some of you would like to dance."
Well, my friend Mulek over here, he's real good at dancing.
And
I was trying not to bust out laughing.
I knew it was coming.
I'm shaking my head like, no.
And when Falliger says that Mulek is a real good dancer, there's more snickers from the table that have the two young men at it over there. And
what do I see the old man doing? Is he ignoring us, or does it look like he's listening to the conversation?
Make a I'll give everybody their choice of an insight or a perception check, whichever you prefer.
Crime Rate's still thinking about wolf steak, so he'll take neither.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Mulek, I guess you would see that the older man, he's trying not to show it, but he's very keenly observing what is going on without being obviously looking. He's clearly is aware of everything that is going on.
He's trying not to show it.
He's trying not to show it, but he's,
lost that love and feeling.
Well, I'm not sure about. Your check. Your check wasn't quite good enough to tell anything about that. I guess Falliger might interpret it any way he wants to. So if Falliger wants to interpret it that way, he could. Mulek, you see, he's aware of what's going on.
I get it.
But he's clearly not making any move to try to join the conversation or anything.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So then Marina, she says, "Oh, your name is Mulek," and she touches you on the shoulder. She says, You're a very handsome young man, and you and all of your friends are handsome. I certainly hope that your friend will play for us." And then Carla says, "And you, Master Bard, what is your name?"
My name? Well, that's a good question, Missy. My friends call me Falliger, but you can call me Fal.
Fal. Oh, Fal. That sounds wonderful. Falliger. It's just very musical sounding name, isn't it, Marina? And Marina says, "Oh yes, Carla, it is." And they sort of laugh a little bit, and then they kind of grab chairs from adjoining tables, and they pull those chairs over, and they sort of invite themselves to sit down at your table with you, without really asking, of course. And you guys, somebody in your group can kind of tell that the two young men over in a corner, they snicker again. They think this is great fun. They're finding something funny about this, at least.
When they come over, I'm gonna and they sit down. I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, I've got to visit the men's room," and I'm gonna leave the table and head over towards.
Okay, it'd probably be
Erwin.
It'll probably be an outhouse. Yeah. So
Colonel will notice you move in and suddenly start paying attention.
Okay. All right. So you're getting up, and where are you headed?
Well, I was just going to walk up to Erwin and ask him, "Hey, where can I go to,
Oh, okay. Yeah, he will tell you. The outhouse is behind and then he kind of points the way down the hall, and there's a back door, and there would be a little yard out there that has the little. You can see the little outhouse thing. So if that's where you're headed, or whatever.
Yep. I'm gonna just go out and be gone for a few minutes.
Okay. All right. All right, and let's see. Your wine comes, and when he brings the wine, he also brings bread, and he brings the soup, and he says that your steaks will be done momentarily, and so you all can start to eat your soup. And the wine, you find this is actually the Red Dragon Crush. And let's see, where is, I think there's I think I have. Okay, I think I have. There might actually be something here. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Do I have this? Is this in here? No,
He's doing
it's
over,
not, apparently.
Crinraid.
Okay.
Doesn't some things, and I'm whispering this to him, doesn't some things in this bar seem a little off to you?
Very. For starters, this tastes awful. And there's also the fact that, this. I don't want to be that guy, right? But I've seen like doll houses in Hillcrest and in some human villages. This just feels like a really big dollhouse full of stupid people. It's proper weird.
Yeah, my spidey sense is going off.
And you guys, of course, are saying this in Dwarvish.
I don't
You
know.
guys are
I'm whispering.
We're whispering to each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like, something. I'm getting creeped out, like on a massive level.
I'm just gonna say I've had my hand on my hammer for like the past 5 hours, and I'm getting a bit tired. But that's how concerned I am about all of this. It's very, very disturbing. I don't like it, man. But at least we'll have that wolf steak to look forward to, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's because seems like that'd be really good. Yeah.
I've never had wolf, and now I'm lost in thought thinking about wolf steak again.
That one track mind. Gotta love you,
Yeah. I'm just staring in space. You can see a bit of saliva rolling down Kermray's mouth.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, here we go. I am going to drop something into the Discord for you guys. And at the break, I'll go ahead and okay. At the break, I'll go ahead and put it in so that the chat can see it. But that's kind of what the bottles of wine look like.
Nice.
And it's a fine red wine. Those of you who like fine wine would recognize that this is actually a fairly well-made red wine, medium dry. Now, of course, to Crenraid's palate, it probably would taste like dirt.
It's like shit, yeah.
because it's like,
like, if it's not a literal burning a hole in my stomach, it's not tasting good to the dwarf's palate.
Yeah. It's just it's way too mild. You might as well be drinking water. Water that's gone a little sour. has kind of a little tart flavor to it because it's fermented, of course. So you guys will eventually get your meal, and Carla and Marina will sort of eventually one of them will ask if they can have a sip of somebody's wine.
Oh, by all means, just have mine. Just take it away from the thing.
And they look at Krenraid, and they look at each other, and then they kind of look at Falazur and Thaldor, and Marina will lean over to Falazur and say, "Is your friend okay? The one with the beard."
He's just the taste is getting beat out of him.
Oh, poor man.
Hot sauce, please.
I reach into my bag and I grab a bottle of hot sauce. There you go, Conrad.
Okay, and about the time the hot sauce comes out, the wolf steaks arrive.
Oh,
and, and so, however you guys have ordered them, from rare to well done, they are cooked to order. And the thing that you notice about this is that, these must be real wolves because they are tough. The meat is very tough, like you would expect, gamey, wild meat to be. This is not farm-raised, grass-fed, fatted cattle meat. This is prowling out through the woods, hunting for survival meat. Is what it is.
Really gamey. It's got that gamey flavor that I like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just.
And you put hot sauce on it. You open the bottle of hot sauce and put.
Oh no, I don't put hot sauce on it. I put hot sauce in my mouth, in one of my cheeks, and then I put some of the steak into the other cheek. I'm not going to take too much because I feel a bit bad that I've already taken quite a bit from his stash.
Yeah, I'm going to run out of hot sauce in 4 weeks from now.
Right. So I'm going to take a little spoonful of it, just put it in my mouth, and then just start rubbing it together with the meat in my mouth and be like, oh.
Okay, when the stopper comes out of the hot sauce bottle, kind of the aroma and the peppery vapors of it come out, and immediately Carla and Marina, they just sort of sit back a little bit, and then you dip a spoon and you put it in your mouth, and their eyes just go wide because they can tell how hot that stuff is from here, and they're like, and then Carla will lean over to Thaldor and she'll say, "Is your friend mad?"
That's a trick question. Just a little bit, I guess. But he's my type of mad.
Man,
Oh.
he's got a taste for flavor.
That's true too.
You ever had hot sauce, Missy?
No, but if it's anything, it's already making my eyes water, even from here. Could you put the stopper back in that bottle, please?
Oh, that's just Falazur's smoldering good looks.
Yeah. Well, all right. And I still think you got to try some, but he'll put the cap back on.
Okay. And they are kind of looking at you, and now you guys notice that the snickering from the table with the two young men that has stopped, and now they're kind of curious. They're kind of looking over at you guys, like, and it's the the look of two people who think they are being subtle, but they have drunk so much that subtlety is no longer an option for them. They're they're just sort of gawking in your direction because they were. You're not sure what they have found so funny, but now they find the four of you fascinating, or I guess the three of you until Mulek gets back.
Alistair is just like not deliberately not paying them attention, just kind of like nonchalant. Like
if Crenray notices, he's going to turn. If he does notice,
they are not. Well, like I said, they think they're being subtle, but they're way past that. So yeah, if you want to notice them, you can notice them.
I'm just gonna turn around while I've got this chunk of meat and hot sauce swirling around in my mouth, creating this vortex of disgusting sounds that shouldn't be really heard, especially if it's really tough. I'm just going to look them right in the eye and just open mouth chew, right eye to eye contact while maintaining it with them. Hi.
and they kind of look at you, and they look at each other, and they look back at you, and they go, hello?
Do you like what you see?
Well, I can't say we've ever seen someone like you before. What village are you from?
I'm from the
Upriver.
Hillcrest Clan, somewhere, very far upriver. And we're traveling with the world-famous bard Faerun. This guy right here. It's where we're from. He's like super duper famous.
Faerun just kind of looks at the ladies, like that, kind of like, eye squint, shaking his head, like, nah. That's not.
He's humble. He's humble. Trust me. But this guy right here, super famous. Yeah, I had people trying to, like kidnap him and stuff. It was weird.
Oh. He's famous, is he?
Well, super famous, yeah.
Well, perhaps our mother, the Lady Wachter, would like to hear him play.
I don't know if he's got it in his schedule. Do you have that in your schedule, Faerun?
Oh, pretty booked up today.
Why, yes, says Marina, and she sort of puts a hand on Fallager's shoulder, and she gives the two young men kind of a superior look, and she says, "Why, yes, Fallager is going to be playing the common room of the Blue Water Inn this evening. So, if Lady Wachter would like to see him, Lady Wachter can come here and listen to him play."
Only if you promise to try my hot sauce.
And the two of them look like they're about to give some sort of retort to the woman, and then you say that to the woman, right? That only if she tries, and then those two, they just pound the table and start guffawing. They think that's the funniest thing that they have ever seen. It's like they now think that it's almost like they somehow think that you guys have the same opinion of these women that they do, and whatever opinion that is. It doesn't seem to be a very high opinion.
Currently none. I'm more interested in the steak.
Yeah, but the way Fallager just sort of gave her a challenge, right out there, kind of in the open. It's like that's just hilarious to them. Yeah. sounds like it's the kind of laughter that says, God, I wish that either I was that brave or that clever to be able to do that. It's that kind of laughter that you hear out of them. And
That's how Fallacy makes ladies laugh wherever he goes.
and Marina sort of looks a bit scandalized and says, well, maybe I'll have to try just a little taste, but I'll definitely have to get some wine to wash it down.
There's already some on the table.
Oh, by all means, have mine.
And
I'm gonna love it. It's like something forbidden on your lips and your tongue.
Oh God, I'm trying not to laugh.
No.
and
I failed. I'm sorry.
He's laying it on so thick. I'm just like, I'm putting face palming at the table.
It's so good. I'm loving it.
Okay, Fallisher, you really want her to try this. Are you attempting to persuade her to try this?
No, I'm just talking to her normal. Like, does she feel persuade? I'm flirting and teasing.
Okay, all right.
But it's like a half-ass.
Yeah.
Serious.
Let me just make a check here and see. She seems pretty. She now feels like she's kind of boxed into a corner where she sort of feels pressured. Like whether you're being genuinely serious or not, but you've kind of been teasing her. Those other people over there are laughing at her, or she feels like they're laughing at her expense. And so she's starting to feel like she doesn't have many options other than to acquiesce to your suggestion that she try some of this. So she will pull off a little hunk of bread, and she'll wait for somebody to pass a bit of wine to her, and then she'll take the bottle and she'll open it, and her eyes almost immediately start to water as soon as the cap comes off, and she puts like a drop or two of the sauce into her spoon, and then she dribbles that onto the little hunk of bread that she has in her hand, and she quickly puts the cap back on, and then she raises that up and she kind of sniffs at it, and her nose wrinkles a little bit, and she looks at you and she looks around at the rest of you, but then finally she's looking at the dwarf and she realizes, well, he's been eating this and hasn't killed him yet. So then she very gingerly pops some of it into her mouth, and she chews once, she chews twice, and then her eyes start to water, and she grabs the wine and she's just like starts to guzzle the wine, and
it's like a forbidden kiss.
It burns. Oh, that burns.
If that kiss was diseased.
And then she puts the wine cup down, and then she just, open-handed, she just slaps you on the shoulder. And it's kind of a gesture like, how dare you, make me lose my composure like that in front of other people. And she just slaps you, and she says, Carla, I'm not sure if this Falliger is worth hearing. I think maybe we should leave. And the other woman, she's sort of like, Oh, well, Marina, if that's how you feel. Yes, I do. And so she stands up, and Carla stands up, and then she says, they look at you, Falliger, and they say, you may be famous elsewhere, but your name is Mud here in Vallaki. And so they start to walk off, and as they start to walk off, the two young guys over at that other table, they just are howling with laughter and banging their palms on the table. They think this is the funniest thing that they have ever seen, and they just, and they're like, bye. as the two women are walking out the door.
As she's walking out, I say to her, you sure are super cute when you're angry. And I wink at her.
And they were like, then off they go. And
I lean over and I say to the boys, I'm like, oh, well, hell, finally, maybe we'll get some peace and quiet.
And just about the time that you say that, you see that the two young men, they grab their cups and they grab their bottle of wine, and they're headed straight for your table. And they come over and they sit down in the chairs that the two women have just vacated, and they're like, oh my God, that is the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. My name is Nikolai. This is my brother Carl. We are we are Lady Wakta's sons. Lady Wakta.
You boys know those girls, or
they are just they're just a couple of peasants. they think that someday someone will come into this town and they will catch their eye and they will take them away from all of this. But they're just a couple of common tramps.
Common tramps with no palate. Didn't like this stuff.
And the one picks up the bottle of hot sauce and looks at it and says, oh, I've never seen this. And he unscrews the cap and he takes a whiff of it. Woo! Oh, and he says, Carl, here, smell this. And Carl goes, whoa, brother, put the cap back on. Oh, and
don't get it in your eyes. Trust me.
Oh, I can imagine that would be awful. That would be agony. It would be agony.
Pain beyond imagining, my friend.
Oh my God, that would be worse than Ezek putting you in the stocks.
It's really good on meat, though.
that right there, boys. My grandpappy used to say, "Put lead in your pencil."
To start rolling.
Put lead in your pencil. Put lead in your pencil. Well, yes, well, Mr. Falliger, I couldn't help overhearing you. Your friends say that you're handy with the guitar. Our mother is Lady Wakta. She is the Wakters are the wealthiest family here in Vallaki. I'm sure that she would love to hear you play, and if I might say so, our mother serves a better table than these wretched Martikovs do. You should. Shall we tell our mother that you all would join us for dinner tonight at the estate?
Here's my question. Is the estate in Vallaki or is it up on that big ominous hill?
Oh, heavens, no. It's here in Vallaki. Oh, no, my mother would never dream of trying to make people think that she was worthy of dining at Lord Strahd's table. There's far too much respect for him.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
So this whole time, Mulek wasn't at the outhouse. I would have come back, but my intent was to first see what the old man was doing. Is he eating a meal? Is he drinking a drink? Or is he just sitting there at an empty table?
He's got a cup of wine, but he's got the look of somebody who can nurse a drink for hours. And someone who is well versed and probably very patient.
So what Mulek's intent was to come back, and I would have come back when the women were still at the table. And so I guess before we go any further, I just want to jump in and say, I would have walked up to his table and said, "Name's Mulek, you mind?" And then I would have just grabbed a chair and sat down next to the old man and tried to strike up a conversation while that other stuff was going on.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that you might send an IM or a DM
sorry. I was just waiting for let's see what Mulek's doing. I was just kind of waiting, but it never came.
Okay. Well, when you went on mute, I was thinking, okay, did he really get up and have to?
No,
have to get up and go?
No, I've been here the whole time.
Oh, okay, all right. Sorry about that.
I'm going to be honest. I assumed that as well. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's check in with Mulek, and we will do that right after our break. I have 35 after the hour, so now that Falashur has offended the women and they have gone away, and they have been replaced by the two young Wachter brothers. We will check in with Mulek after the break. Stream, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. We really appreciate it. I'm gonna put the stream beats up for you guys, and then I'll put the timer up. And we will be back in a few minutes, and we will resume our game. All right, so let me go grab the timer here. I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do this. All right. And then I'm going to mute myself.
I'm going to grab a drink as well.
An actual drink.
Another actual drink, yes.
How you been, Ken?
Oh, I've been depressed, but last few days I've been really happy. So I think my diet is really off. I think it's part of the problem.
Back.
I wasn't getting enough sunshine, I think.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Got to get your vitamin D. Are you able to ever
D.
pick it?
I love how the Brits say that vitamin when we say vitamin.
Right?
There's a few things like that, yeah, which
we
get a
say
bit
aluminum,
confusing.
they say aluminium.
Aluminium. Yeah,
There
it's
you
completely different.
Say taco.
Taco.
They pronounce the A hard. You notice that? Taco instead of we say taco.
Yeah. Taco, like Faco.
Right, and they say Z instead of Z.
Mm-hmm. Zebra and zebra.
Yeah, you know I'm just picking on you, Paul. It's all good.
Oh, not at all. I think it's very funny myself. Like the difference is that, some words have, even in England, right? Some people say it differently depending on where they're from. It's very funny to me. Were you ever able to get some more nachos, Ken, to make up for the nachos that you lost in that terrible accent?
Didn't.
You are owed some nachos.
Yeah, I'd be going to my landlord and say, "You owe me a plate of nachos, you asshole."
Right.
Yeah, with all the fixings and everything, dude, it was like over 20-something bucks.
Oh no,
Like,
yeah.
expensive ass.
Owing me.
Expensive ass nachos.
My God.
Well, I start physical therapy on the 1st
Physical therapy?
for my neck.
Are you okay? Is it just like pain?
I've got some bulge disc in my neck, like 2 mild bulge discs and some protrusions. They're causing me some nerve issues.
Ow. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope this works out really well.
Yeah, that sucks.
Me and you both. Yeah.
Do you know
it's
what
just
caused
been-
it? Or sorry, go on.
Yeah, an auto accident 2 years ago caused it.
Oh. That sucks.
Yeah, and it was at work when it happened too.
Going
That
from
sucks even more.
I'm going from a medical marijuana card
What? That'll make you happy.
on Saturday.
Medical. What are you getting that for? What problem do you have that you'll be able to claim that on?
I got a workman's comp injury to my knee, and I have some arthritis because of
Nice.
that.
Well, it's
That,
not nice,
depression.
but
You can get
yeah.
it for depression too if you're clinically diagnosed depressive.
Yep.
Depends on the state. Tennessee doesn't have medical or legal marijuana, so you're in Oklahoma, right? So Oklahoma
Yeah.
does, I think. Yeah.
Yep. You can even grow like a pound or something like that in your house.
I wish I could grow a pound of marijuana in my
I don't remember exactly how much, but it's quite a bit. Like, I think you can grow like several full marijuana plants.
Amazing. Imagine just having a really shit day. You just come home, you just rip a couple of leaves off, grind it up, dry it out, right?
I'm just doing it.
You hang it upside down.
I'm doing it for
Right.
medicinal. Like, it's not recreational.
You do
I
it
used
like
to do
tobacco.
quite a lot of drugs when I was much younger, a younger
Oh,
man.
That's
It
not
wasn't just weed, but
Been around the
that's
block,
the
too.
full. Yeah, exactly. The foolishness of youth, I like to call it. But yeah, the weed always kind of, I personally found was pretty helpful in some ways, unlike speed or ketamine or something else, which gave you a completely different kind of buzz. But the
Well,
weed I
the-
never really had a problem with.
This, what is it? The sativa strain of the plant, like, gives me energy. It gives you energy, and it's like
is it called
good for.
sativa?
It's good for energy and pain management.
And one
Oh.
makes you like a vegetable. It's great. I used to do that back in my youth.
Right?
Trust me, I'd rather have that than alcohol.
You know, I'm inclined to agree. I can't really drink anywhere near as much alcohol as I used to enjoy partaking.
What is the age limit over there? Is it 16 or 18?
It's younger if you have food. So if you're eating with a meal, you can have it from ages like 8 and up. If you have it by itself, you can have it from 16, but only when accompanied by an adult. And then 18 is the limit. We're very, you'll learn when you're young kind of situation over here. Welcome back, James.
Hey, guys.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for let's see what Mulek's doing, and it never came. It's like, well, maybe I better say something.
That's our bad. I'm so sorry about that. We could have asked.
No,
that's entirely on us.
I should have said something, but I was just
I shouldn't go by the assumption that you weren't
enjoying
there.
the story. Yeah, I'll usually put myself on mute just because I've got so many kids and a busy household that I just put on mute just in case I don't want anyone to pick up any kind of, if one of my kids decides to scream or something, doesn't, ruin anything. So
that's good because now we know that, so I can ask about Moodlek if you're muted.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you guys if I'm gone. I'll say, I'll do a be right back if I need to leave.
Got it. Oh, I've got a fan in chat.
Yes, you do. So I'm presuming that Commodore must be somebody who knows you either from the Action Surge or something else that you've been in.
Yeah, he put some magical items in the Action Surge a few times. Hey, buddy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, Commodore, thank you for joining us. And everybody else, thank you for being here. Drats. Okay. Doors of Fear, I see you've cashed in a couple of things for... And then somebody else...
Peanut cashed in something. Yep.
Cashed in for names. And then I think everybody in the party has advantage now. So...
It's Doors of Fear one of us, isn't it?
That's me.
That's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
Well, I didn't give it to myself. I mean, I had 212,000 channel points. It's like I gotta spend them. Guys, fellas, I love y'all.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to find a Heather and we have to find a Thanos.
A Thanos? Who named it? Oh,
yeah,
of course it was Commodore, wasn't it? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Thank you, Commodore, for cashing that in. All right, I'll go ahead and figure out who can be that. Oh, well, that's perfect. Okay.
Now I'm concerned.
What's your name, old man? Well, no.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The old man is named. Which is now the trick is going to be if week on week I can remember that we've renamed him because he is somebody that normally does have a name in this.
I feel like we need a hot sauce emoji for this game.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Yeah, we could
Hot sauce.
Try to figure out something. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the music is down the rest of the way. I turned it down a little bit so I could talk, but now I'm turning it all the way off, and then I'm going to put the map back up. All right, well, welcome back, everybody, for the second half of our game. Just before we left, Mulek had gone over to the old man sitting by himself on the other side of the bar, and he had asked if he could sit down, and almost before he was acknowledged, he pulled out a chair and sat down at the table with the old man. And Mulek, what do you say?
Yeah, so I had said, name's Mulek, you mind, and sat down and say... So you
looks at you and,
go ahead.
He looks at you, and as you ask if he minds if you sit down, and it seems like he's about to say something, and you just sort of sit down anyway, and then he just sort of gives you a wry smile.
Hey, you come here often?
Oh, well, I am. This is the place that I tend to spend the most of my time here in Vallaki. You are new in town, I take it?
Yeah. First time to town, and here with my friends over there. Those lady folk got a little bit too comfortable for my liking, so I excused myself. And you seem like someone who could use some conversation, so I decided to come over here and have a chat.
Well, I've been here close to a month now. My carnival and I. We have been here.
Oh, you're here with the carnival, huh?
Yes.
Uh,
I am Thanos, the master of the center ring of the carnival. Normally, we travel in a distant land, but our travels have recently brought us here to Barovia. It's an interesting place indeed.
So is your carnival stationed outside of town, or you set up somewhere?
Well, that's the funny thing. We got here. There were several wagons in our carnival. And over the last month, now it seems like it's only me and Piccolo. But the toy maker, he seemed like he was a lonely sort. So I told him I didn't have any money and I paid for some toys with Piccolo.
Piccolo, he's one of your carnival mates?
Oh, no, he was my little pet monkey.
Oh, your pet monkey. Oh, Piccolo. Oh, yes. We stopped by the toy maker's place. He did have a monkey. So that used to be your monkey.
Oh, you did, yes. I trust he is treating little Piccolo well.
He looked well to me. Happy as can be.
Good.
So you were here with several wagons and now they're gone? Like, did they leave town or?
Yes, now it's just me. Do you know, I was thinking about your friend there. If he indeed plays here at the inn. I'm not a singer or a musician, but I tell many tales. And those are tales that might benefit from a musical accompaniment. If your friend is good at improvisation, perhaps he could accompany me. And then, of course, he could sing his songs as well if he wishes.
He's quite talented. I've seen him perform quite a few times. He's quite skilled.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to introduce myself. So Mulek, you say, and where is it you're from?
We're from a far place, I think. Place called the Sword Coast. You heard of it?
The Sword Coast. The Sword Coast.
Faerun? Does that ring a bell?
That would be Waterdeep in that area?
Yes, exactly.
Baldur's Gate?
Yes.
Yes. My
You've been there?
has traveled there once or twice before. Yeah. Oh, you have come a long way.
Yeah, it's quite peculiar how we arrived, actually. How far would you say this place is from Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate?
And he gives you a little smile, and he takes a drink from his cup, and he says, "Tell me the story of how you got here."
Let's just say it involved a mist.
Yes. I think that's for everyone from the outside who comes here, comes through the mists.
Is that how you came to be here?
Oh, yes. 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 We took on some Vistani who joined our carnival. And we traveled with them. Vistani, they're an amazing people. They can travel far and wide. You can get halfway across the continent of Faerun in far less time than you would imagine if you travel with a Vistani. All you have to do is find the mists. But the mist comes every day, and I go into the mist, and when the mist clears, I'm still here. I'm starting to think that it had something to do with the Vistani getting here, and perhaps it'll take the Vistani to get out.
If you believe it's the Vistani, why are you not with them? Why are you here in Vallaki?
Well, let's just say that one of the Vistani girls that was with the carnival, she took a fancy to me while we were in the carnival. When we got here, I discovered that she has a husband. I don't think I would be much welcome among the Vistani.
And your carnival mates, did they return via the mist? What happened to them? Carnival usually a lot of people, right?
Yes, I think, friend, that some in the carnival were led here willingly by the Vistani. And I think maybe they have thought that life among the Vistani would be preferable to life in a carnival. Others, well, I just hope that the mists haven't gotten them.
That they haven't gotten them. Didn't you say the mist was a good thing?
I said the mists could allow you to travel. Now, if you're with one who knows where they're going, they can be a good thing, but tell me, Mulek, when you are on a mountain road and you have a guide who knows where they're going, a mountain road that saves you several days going around the shoulders of the mountains, it's a good thing, no?
Yeah, that is a good thing.
But if you're on a mountain road and you don't know which turn will take you to the cave of the bear, which turn will take you to the path to your destination, and which turn will take you to the village of the orcs, is that such a good thing?
No, but so if that's the case, what is your desire, Thanos?
Well, let's just say I'm looking for something.
Oh, something in this village?
We've only just met, Mulek. I get to know you and your friends better. Perhaps I'll tell you.
True. I understand. Hey, talking about new, what can you tell me about those two young chaps over there that are snickering and laughing and giggling at my friends over there?
Oh, I would say they're mostly harmless. Those boys belong to Fiona Wachter. She is an influential figure in town. The Wachters are probably the oldest moneyed family in Vallaki. A dark people, if you ask me. Fiona
Dark.
may be wealthy, and it's said that Fiona has very powerful friends, or at least one very powerful friend. And in Barovia, after all, if you have the right powerful friend, one is really all you need. I don't think the Burgomeister likes the Wachters very much. And those two, they may laugh it up now, but if Isaac Strozzi walked through the door, they would be quiet as church mice.
Oh,
They're terrified of that one.
They aren't on his good side, huh?
Oh no, few people are. The best way to stay off of his bad side is to be so quiet he doesn't notice you.
So, would it be a bad thing to be performing in this place with loud music? Would that attract the wrong people, or?
I doubt it. Isaac Strozny is not one for drink or music or dance. He would rather fight. And if entertainment in the end keeps people out of trouble, keeps them quiet, the Burgomeister will be happy. And if the Burgomeister is happy, Isaac Strozny, well, he'll look for the people that annoy the Burgomeister.
Well, Thanos, I better get back to my crew over there. It was nice chatting. It was good to meet you. And if you need any help locating whatever it is you're looking for, or if you come across any information that could help me and my friends get back to where we came from, I'd appreciate you look me up. We'll be around. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to be staying, but I'm sure you could find us. Are you staying here in this inn? Is this where you're living right now?
Oh yes, my wagon is parked out back, but when he has an extra room, Martinov is a good guy. He lets me sleep upstairs.
Well, I'm sure we'll meet again.
Mm-hmm. Pleasure to meet you.
Good day, sir. And I gets up and walks back to the table.
Okay, so
I'm not sure where. Yeah, you can say.
Yeah,
where
by this time the women have left and the two young men have come over, and they're kind of they're probably just about at a point of calling those two women that left common tramps when Mulek retakes his seat. And you can tell these are the guys that are dressed real fancy and everything. The ones that what the hell did we call him? Thanos. The one that Thanos said is our sons of Lady Wachter. So they will as Mulek comes up, they will say, "So, Falliger, do you think you're gonna stay? And do you think you'll be playing for the?" And then they put very exaggerated air quotes up above their heads. You think you'll play for this Festival of the Sun?
Insight check.
Okay.
What does he mean by that?
Oh, 21. That's pretty good. What he means by that, he clearly has a very low opinion of the festival. He thinks you get the impression he thinks the festival is a bunch of hogwash.
Hmm.
It's like, I hear that they're I hear they're building a big effigy, and they're gonna set it on fire at the height of the festival. You know, it would be funny. It'd be funny if somebody went and set it on fire before they were ready. I'd love to see the look on these extras' face.
I was like, I think we've heard this before.
Yeah, I
Like
say,
setting something on fire before.
I say deja vu.
Maybe.
Uh,
Turnraid wasn't with us at the moment when that happened, but yeah.
strange.
I'm distracted by the steak anyway.
What kind of things go on at the festival? What kind of activities and such?
Oh, all kinds of nonsense. That Burgermeister is a crazy lunatic. He seems to think that he can make people happy. It'll somehow change everything in Barovia. The fool. There's only one way to be happy in Barovia.
How's that?
Why? Of course, to serve his lordship, Strahd. He's the rightful ruler. He's the lord of the place. Just walk in his will. It's very simple. But no. Damn fool Burgermeister. Doesn't seem to think it. He's going to come to a bad end, that one. I can guarantee that.
So, what do you boys around here do for fun?
For fun? Mostly we come here and drink. And look at the peasants. Some of the peasant girls are pretty cute.
Yeah, you ever go up and tell them that?
We told them that. They would want us to take them home and introduce them to our mother. And none of them are worthy of that.
Insight
Oh,
check.
trust me, fat as really is. Go on.
Are they full of shit, or are they just...
Okay, go ahead. Oh, wow. Even better insight check. They are... There's a grain of truth in what they say, in that they are terrified that actually if they courted a common girl, that the common girl would want to meet Lady Wachter, and they are terrified of what their mother would do to them if either one of them brought home a common girl.
You know what Mama don't know, it won't hurt her.
And they look at you and they laugh and they say, "Oh, yes, but you don't know our mother. She has eyes. She sees She sees all over the town. We'd have to find some place to live that was outside of Vallaki. If we really wanted to. As long as we're here, we can't get too far away from Mother's eyes.
Will your mother be at the festival?
Gods, no. She won't go to the festival. I don't care. I don't care how many soldiers Izek Strasny sends to bang on the door. Izek Strasny is not fool enough to try to enter the estate by force. Our mother won't be at the festival, and she forbids us to go. She'll probably lock us in our rooms on the day of the festival. Pity. It really would be fun to see somebody set that stupid thing on fire before the Burgomeister is ready. Oh, Izek Strasny would be fit to be tied if that happened. He would go apoplectic.
What happens when they light the effigy on fire?
Oh, it'll burn, I suppose.
They do this. They do this every year.
Every year, this God's forsaken Burgomeister has a different festival every week.
Oh. Do they burn something every week?
No. 1 week it's making wreaths from the boughs of pines. 1 week it's going out and killing wolves and bringing their heads and parading them around the town. 1 week it's this fool festival of the sun. And next week it'll be something completely different. I don't know. They'll bake pies for all I know. It's just one fool thing after another. This Burgomeister does. He's an idiot. He's half crazy.
Pretty exciting to me. Get a party every week.
Yeah, but if he ever succeeds in drawing the wrong kind of attention, Vallaki's going to be in real trouble. And I'd rather be locked in my room if that ever happens, because at least mother knows who has the real power in this land.
Well, the sign I saw said that all the children had to go to the festival. Are you telling me that not all the children in this town go to the festival?
Oh, all the children probably do, because the parents are too stupid to think for themselves. They just do whatever the Burgomeister tells them. I mean,
except for you and your immediate family.
Oh, we're lucky. Our mother was educated, and she knows what's from what. The rest of these blind fools stumble around. Half of them are probably soulless anyway.
Do you not have friends?
Oh, sadly, other than the fool Burgomeister, our family is the only noble family in this town. And right now, the Burgomeister has managed to hoodwink the people. But the day will come. The day will come. He will make a misstep, and he'll pay for it. And when he does, well, then perhaps one of us will become the Burgomeister. And then we'll put some sense into this town.
good luck with that.
Yeah. Crazy as these peasants are, they're probably too stupid to know what's good for them.
What keeps the Burgomeister in power?
The delusions of the masses. Enough people seem to think that maybe there is something they can do about the fact that its sky is always gray, and that there never seems to be quite enough food, and that half the children born seem to just live out their lives with vacant eyes, as though there's no soul inside them at all.
You said half? What do you mean by that?
Oh, that's a solace. You'd have to talk to the priest about that. I don't know anything about that nonsense. It's probably all just a fairy story anyway. But there's no denying that, mark my words, half of the peasants you see in this town will just seem like they're staring off at nothing. And then one of them will elbow Falliger and will point over at the table where the two middle-aged men are. And you can see the one kind of does have very sharp hawk-like eyes, and the other one has kind of a vacant, faraway look in his eyes. And he says, I bet that's one of the soulless right there.
What do I notice about the soulless, or is this just something that'd be weird to me, or can I roll a history check?
Well, it would be more like if you want to really study the guy, it would be probably either a perception or an insight check.
I'll roll perception.
Okay.
Not with a nat 1.
Yeah, it just kind of seems a little vacant. And then about that time, a peasant woman walks in, and she's got like a cloak on. And as she shrugs the cloak off, you can see that she has a little apron on. Like she works there. And let's see. Erwin looks at her and says, "Oh, hello, Heather. Glad you could make it today. And there's a party of visitors there. I think they're still working on their lunch, but you can check on them, see if they need any wine. And if they don't, then you can grab your lunch before you start working." And she says, "Oh, yes, my lord." And she goes to the back, hangs up her cloak, and then she comes out and she checks on you, and she takes away any empty plates and, asks if you guys need more bread for your table.
Yeah, I think Krendry could use some.
I'm good.
Oh, I'm good. I'm stuffed myself with meat.
And she says, "Oh, well, I hope you found the wolf to your liking."
It was very tasty. I've never had wolf before. And it had spicy sauce, but very good.
Oh, well, yes, well, if you stay tonight, we've got plenty of it. Gods know the festival brought in plenty. And she looks at the two fellows over in the back of the inn, and she nods at them and she says, "Soldar and Yevgeny are the two best wolf hunters in all of Vallaki. They must have brought in a dozen of the beasts between them last week.
Are you sure they didn't just buy them?
No, I saw them walking into town with the beasts slung over their shoulders on poles. The pelts still on them. The heads removed and the bodies drained of blood, as you do.
Oh, that sounds very handy, I must admit. I guess there's many places to hunt wolves around here if you had a whole festival dedicated to it.
Oh yes. I must say, gentlemen, you don't want to be outside of the walls at night. On some nights you can hear the wolves. It sounds like they're almost right up to the walls of the town itself. I would be frightfully afraid to be outside the town after dark.
Oh, sounds like fun. We'll go camping then. I'll have to stay at this lovely inn, if the group agrees. Mind you, I won't want to have too many of these steaks, though. If I eat any more than this, I'm going to crush the bed.
She gives you a little smile, and then she'll go ahead and take the plates and head to the back.
What do you guys think? We go play for this lady or these two lads, or what do we want to do here?
Fallager, that you see that man over there? I point to the old man. So he's quite the storyteller. He said that he could perform with you if you're able to play some music, improvise with him. He's got some good stories, I guess, that he'd love to share. Not sure if you're interested in that kind of thing, but he mentioned it when I was talking to him.
Maybe so.
So now, Crenraid, when you said, did you say aloud that you said you were going to go camping?
Oh, I shouldn't go camping, yeah.
Oh, you should not go camping. Okay.
Yeah, that was because of all the wolves and things, right?
Pardon?
Oh, because of all the wolves and stuff.
Yes. Because of all the wolves. Okay. All right. So, Fallager, Mulek just told you about the old man.
Yeah.
I think you should play with him, Fallager. I mean, kind of reminds me of little folk tales. You play a little accompanying music and he tells his stories.
Right. Also, we could maybe pull the same gig we tried last time. It's our inn, isn't it? The world famous Fallager.
In a town like this, I don't know how that would. As being your manager, I don't know how that would work in this town. They seem a little drab. I think they draw too much attention to us that we don't need.
I could just play a nice little soft tune and then add certain sound effects while he's telling his story.
And
Could be fun.
The two brothers, Nikolai and Carl, they'll say, "Oh, well, no, I mean, really, you should come and you should come and play for our mother tonight. I mean, if you impress her, she might even be able to get you a gig at the castle. I mean,
all right.
There's no better place that you could possibly play than the castle. I mean,
well,
would be an honor."
I don't know. Considering what happened last time I played for somebody's mom.
And
I'm sure you can work this one out and keep it in your pants system, right, pal?
And the two of them, they look at each other, and there's like a genuine look of confusion, like they don't even understand what that's a reference to. The impression you get, Falliger, is that they are extremely sheltered.
Well,
They don't pick up on any innuendo at all.
I'm getting a severe case of the Groundhog's Day, guys.
well, perhaps maybe we can stop by and,
Oh, that would be wonderful.
How far away is it?
Oh, it's not far at all. Why, in fact, on this handy map of the town, you can see it's just to the north over here. Just to the north. And a little bit to the east.
Falliger, maybe we could do like a little warm-up gig here early this evening and then head on over there for, some type of finale.
Perhaps.
Oh, yes. The streets of the town are safe. Heather is correct. You wouldn't want to be outside the town after dark, but the streets of the town are safe. The guards patrol day and night. And if there's one thing I'm certain of, that any wolf would run in terror if they saw Isaac Strasny coming after it with that big bloody axe of his. So,
Gally,
you're
are
not
these guys human or elvish?
Oh, they're human.
Cool. I look over at Falliger and Elvish and I go, something doesn't sit right here with me, Falliger. This whole town is just crazy. If you haven't noticed, I think you might have. I'm just very cautious at what we do. I have to play out of Mulek's book today. And I know Mulek can understand me. That something doesn't seem right.
And I respond in Elvish. I say, well, I mean, they did say it could probably get us inside this Lord of Barovia's castle or whatever.
And just looking at that, I in fear. Like I look at that castle and I'm like, yeah, that just looks like the spookiest place. I don't want to go.
Well, I feel like something inside just tells me that's where the answers to our questions are.
Well, and I pipe in. It's good to know those who are in power.
Fair. And I just shake my head and go, okay. I'll go.
To distract the other guys with small conversation while these guys are talking. By the way.
Okay. All right.
It's like I'm in agreement with Mulek. If that's what we think is going to happen, and knowing people in high places like we always kind of do, as Mulek said earlier, deja vu, then we need to play that way.
And Krenraid, as you talk to these two guys, they're kind of giving you. They've been kind of giving you these strange looks after a while, and finally after you talk to them, I guess it's Carl, finally works up the courage and he says, begging your pardon, I mean, you guys all seem like you're great, but there's did something happen to you? I mean, I've never seen anybody that quite looks like you.
Well, you never seen a dwarf?
A dwarf?
You've never seen a dwarf.
You're a dwarf? Oh my
yes.
God. You're a dwarf.
I'm the dwarf. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, well, some of the storybooks that Mother had for us when we were young, they talked about dwarves, but I thought they only existed in stories. Tell me, is it true? Where you come from, do all the rivers run with silver and gold?
Oh, so much more than silver and gold, right? So, like, there's silver and gold in the rivers, but then, like, the walls are actually made out of solid diamond. And we bake all of our beer by filtering it through these solid diamond walls. So the walls are all filled with solid ale and diamond.
Oh my gods! Oh, that's fantastic!
It gets a bit boring after a while, you know. You see it every day and it just kind of rubs off on you.
Oh, that would be so cool!
Yeah, and the food there, it's so filling that you only need to eat one bite or something, and you're full and can work in the mines for like an entire week.
Ooh, work in the mines. they immediately just kind of.
But where do you think all that diamond comes from?
Yeah, Mulek pipes in, and my friend Krenraid here, he misses diamonds so bad. We've been looking for any kind of gem or diamond for him to have again, because he sure misses those gems.
Exactly. Like, my friend was asking at the toy shop about it because we thought maybe he's got some really fancy toys or something like that, you know. But it was a really sad story. I need a few more drinks before I get into it. But you know, my hometown was.
Do you mean Blinsky?
Yeah, Blinsky.
Blinsky's as crazy as that damn Burgermeister. Don't listen to anything he tells you.
Oh, I got that. It was proper creepy. Those dolls were really weird. But I'll need some more beer before I get into it. But my hometown was destroyed by a massive black dragon, and I kind of miss the walls made out of solid diamonds. I've been looking for like a bag of diamonds or a diamond ring or something.
Wait! You're telling me that you've actually seen a dragon?
You haven't seen a dragon either. Oh, my friend, I have stories to tell you about dragons. Although most of them will involve me swearing.
It said that Lord Strahd has the skull of a dragon in the palace somewhere. Of course, we've never been there, but oh my God, you know, and you've actually seen one alive.
I fought one.
You fought a dragon. You fought a dragon, and you're still alive. Oh my God.
Barely, yeah. I mean, it was really heroic. You would have loved it. But it's like the size of a house with razor sharp teeth that grit. It can fire this kind of like breath weapon thing. Like, imagine if you've had like a really bad fart after some really spicy food. Imagine that, but it's the size of a house and it's aimed at your face. It's so bad that it melts your face off. It just melts your entire face off, and it just goes droopy, and you're just like, oh God, what is that? But
that sounds horrible.
It's terrifying, and as far as I'm aware, that stupid stinking dragon is still locked in my bloody house.
Wait, he took your house?
Yeah, a dwarf's hold is his house, is his castle, and as far as I'm aware, he's still in it.
Oh, you mean where all of you and your kinfolk lived? It would be like him taking over the entire estate.
Yeah,
or taking over the entire palace. Oh, that's awful.
It is awful. That's kind of why I'm looking for some of these diamonds. It's kind of like a reminder, right? And you two look like you've got some very fancy clothes on. Do you know where a very wealthy dwarf from many adventures would be able to get some very shiny rocks?
And they look at each other and they say, well, and then they kind of lean over the table conspiratorially and they say, well, now, this is where your friend Fallisher comes in. See, like we were saying, if Fallisher plays for our mother and she likes it, then she may make introductions so that he can play at the palace. And now, Lord Strahd, the way I hear it told, he doesn't like dragons. He doesn't like dragons. And now, if y'all can be friends with him, maybe he can do something to help you about the dragon problem you have.
I fucking hate dragons, but that dragon is mine. As soon as I get a bit more power, revenge will be very swift. But I'm more interested in having a reminder right now to remind me what I'm fighting for. Is Strahd the kind of person that would have that kind of stuff, would he?
He rules in all of Barovia. If anybody would have it, he would.
Okay. Well, I've got to buy you two a drink then. And then I'll tell you all about dragons and their disgusting wrath.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Crinraid, right? You said?
Aye, Crinraid. I play Anvil. In the very famous Fellowship band, yep. Mm-hmm.
Play Anvil. They look at each other, then they mouth, play Anvil. Like, they don't understand what that means. So
you'll see later, don't worry about it.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys can spend however long you want to spend there talking to them. Okay, let me go kind of around the table. Falliger, Thaldor, either one of you want to talk to anybody other than the two lads that are here at the table?
I'm entertained by Crinraid being like his walls were made of diamonds. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, is he smoking? Is he? I know he's not drunk. Did he get into my special stash? What's going on here?
me and James had the exact same thought. I was trying to find out if these guys in fancy clothing knew where I could get some diamonds.
Yep.
Right, and I'm just like, he must have got into my stash.
Both of which may be apt.
Thinking, it's like, yeah, sure, they mine gems, they mine precious metals, but walls made of diamonds, filtering the L through the walls of diamonds. I'm just sitting here just like, Thaldor's just thinking, he's like, there's no. But I like his smoke he's blowing up their ass. Keep doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and these two, they just seem to be eating it up, hook, line, and sinker. So
I'm a fantasy dwarf, right? I can say whatever the fuck I want at this point.
True.
I mean, you're as far as they are concerned, they've probably only ever heard stories about anything outside of Barovia, so they would know a griffin if it bit them on the butt. It's like they just are. So you could make up whatever you want to make up, and they probably would believe it.
It's a bit worrying. Crinraid hasn't made this connection, but I've made this connection. It means that probably it's highly unlikely that any other dwarves made it through the fog, and if they did make it through the fog, they haven't come here.
Yes.
I'm cousins, all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is exactly what it means. It means that if any of the other Duragar reached the fog and came through it, then if they showed up anywhere in Barovia, it wasn't here in Vallaki.
Yep, and this is pretty close to where we showed up ourselves.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah. You're just at the lake to the north. Actually, just on the edge of the lake to the north.
But Crinraid probably assumes that the Draugr are going to kick that giant thing's ass and move on, so don't worry about it. don't know how, but that's definitely what's going to happen. Mm.
Yeah, or either that they will flee and then they will stew for generations until they get the power to go back and reclaim their reclaim their home, because dwarves never forget an insult.
No, and Cranbraid understands that fully.
Yeah, the gods themselves could insult the dwarves, and they would never forget it.
For the next 300 years, gathering power to kill that damn dragon, just you wait.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so Falisher, Thaldor. All right, Thaldor is hanging out. Falisher, did you want to talk to anybody at any of the other tables, or shall we just sort of advance to the evening?
I guess we can advance, sure.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to miss out on a chance if there's anything that you want to learn from anybody in particular. The afternoon goes toward evening, and eventually, whether you guys explicitly say so or not, you realize that the two Wachter boys, they've basically taken your word that you are going to come there later in the evening, and so they excuse themselves, and as they leave, you guys can hear them say, "Well, we need to tell Mother that we're going to have company for dinner tonight." And they don't really specify a time that you should be there, but they figure that you'll be there sometime after dark. So
should know dwarves eat, in the middle of midnight, and
yeah.
When they leave, I relate to them my discussion with Thanos and my interest in befriending him and hearing what stories he has to say if we allow him to perform with Falisher. And so I try to convince the others to allow Thanos, and then if they agree, I'll go over and invite Thanos to play with us early this evening in the inn.
See, I want to say yes, just because I want Thanos to snap in time with the music as he's telling his story.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So, you guys, there's maybe a total of a dozen people eventually trickle in. And these people, about half of them seem rather interested that there is a bard there. And the other half kind of just have sort of a vacant, faraway look in their eyes. And they just kind of sit down. And Falisher, this would be very much what you might consider a cold room, where you get the impression that these people are so unaccustomed to smiling and laughter and sort of clapping their hands and stamping their feet that you're not sure what it would take to sort of get them into a performance.
Oh.
And that's just sort of they don't come in and look at you as though they're skeptical of your talent. It's just they look maybe distracted is a good word. Preoccupied, concerned, worried about life in general.
I see.
I whisper to Falisher, I wouldn't worry too much about this. I think the main goal is to hear the stories of Friend Thanos, I think the real party's going to be later this evening.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you.
And I assume Thanos has kind of joined us.
Thanos will eventually, if Fallager doesn't make an effort to go talk to him, he will eventually come over and talk to Fallager and sort of work out, how much Fallager wants to play on his own. And then he'll kind of tell you that he has sort of a funny story about the carnival, and he has kind of an epic story about the princess, and then he has a scary story about the dragon, and then he will finish with a romantic story about the knight rescuing his lady love. And he can tell those in any order and sort of intersperse those in between any songs that you play. But he gives you kind of the tone of what each story is so that you can improvise appropriate music to match the mood of the story.
Okay.
So he will confide in you that normally he has audiences laughing and weeping as he tells his stories, but here it's rare to see anybody crack a smile or even wipe the corner of an eye.
Well, we'll have to see. Fallager responds and says, "Well, I bet I could fix that."
He's like, "Well, okay, then go ahead, see if you can set the tone."
I will try to do that.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay. I will guidance myself because why not?
Okay.
Performance.
Oh, nice. 28 performance check. 28 performance check, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, okay? What kind of song do you open with? Is it an up tempo? Is it kind of a romantic ballad that people would dance to? What is it?
It. You know what? It's kind of a jig. Like just a happy jig. Try to get people, in a good mood.
Okay. Well, you start playing, and maybe the first half of a verse, you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, these people are worse than I thought." But then, as you get towards the chorus, you notice over there at that table, there's one person whose hand is starting to tap the tabletop in time with the music. And then you see kind of at that table over there, there's someone who's starting to nod their head in time, and they're kind of tapping their foot in time. And then as you get towards the end of the first chorus, you actually, it kind of is almost startling to the other people that have been here before, but you hear somebody begin to just sort of tap their mug on the table in time with the music. And by the time you reach the end of the second verse, there's now several people tapping their mugs, and most of the people are sort of bobbing their heads in time with the music.
It's like a fun drinking song game that people can participate in. So I'm kind of like
Yeah. And then when you get to the third verse, wonder of all wonders, actually 3 or 4 people start to sing. Now, all of you, and they sing horribly. I mean, it's like they croak like strangled chickens or strained bullfrogs, depending on whether they're have an upper or lower register in their voice, and they're just really awful singers. But oh shit, what was I going to say? There's so they start to sing along to the song, and the rest of you notice that even though maybe 4 or 5 people are singing, and fully half the people are really engaged with it, there are still about half of the people in the room who just are sitting there and have that vacant, faraway look in their eyes. Even this performance, which you guys have heard Falliger perform, and he's really on tonight, it's not even reaching them. And you remember that the 2 lads who were here earlier said that half of the peasants in town are soulless. And it's like, if they're not responding to this, maybe they really don't have any souls. And it's like, it's just creepy.
I hate this town.
And, so who's not even reacting?
About half of the people in the room.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not you. And Thanos, he's looking at you, Falliger. He's just stunned that you have gotten this much of a reaction out of these people. He's like, he's never seen people this lively before in this town. And the innkeeper, now you can see that his wife is there, and he's got a couple of kids there in addition to the people that are in there, and they're all just clapping and stamping their feet, and the 2 children are dancing with each other. There's a boy and a girl. They're both about 8 or 9 years old, kind of in that. They're both under 10, and they're kind of dancing around with each other. And then the innkeeper and his wife, they're kind of back there behind the bar, keeping their eye on things if anybody needs anything, but they're even kind of getting into it and dancing a little bit with each other. They're trying to be attentive to their duties, but they're still getting caught up into the music.
And then when that's done, I'll introduce this old timer that I guess whatever name he gave me, and I'll be like, we're gonna slow things down a little bit, and we're gonna do a little bit what I like to call Falliger story time.
And Thanos steps up, and he tells this very dramatic telling about life in the carnival, and it seems to revolve around this clown, and he gives the clown the name of Peanut, and he says that Peanut the clown, he's like one of these hard luck tales, and basically it sounds almost like he's recounting something from a Charlie Chaplin movie, like where everything happens to the little tramp, everything that can go wrong does, and it's all intended to be humorous. And a couple of people, who have been swept up by the music, they actually smile and they laugh at the places that, it would be appropriate to laugh. Half the people, they still just have that vacant, faraway look in their eyes. They're just not responding at all to what's going on. And
Really quick, is for each person that has got a vacant stare, do they have someone next to them who's fully engaged?
It's not always a 1-to-1, but everybody who does have that vacant look, they did come with at least one person that is enjoying themselves.
Okay, so none of the ones with the vacant stare came in on their own. Like they came with someone. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So they there's he finishes his story, and then you play again, and he tells another story, and you play again and tells another story, and that goes on for a little bit, and maybe it's as much as an hour and a half, no more. But after a while, Fallager, it's just getting exhausting playing for this crowd because it's that kind of a room where it's like you're putting out so much effort and only half the room is responding, and it's just like it's one of those times where as an artist you're just feeling a little despondent.
Can I like look some of them in the eyes and kind of determine like
you can give me an insight check.
Like, is this normal? Like, what's going on? Or it's maybe like, are they like charmed or something? I don't know if that's an arcana or if that's insight or.
Basically, to try to figure out what their deal is, it probably would be an insight check.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. 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 You don't really get a read on him. It's like it's almost like it's almost like trying to read the emotional state of a construct. I don't know if Fallager certainly has heard stories about golems and other types of constructs, things that are animated and appear to be alive but aren't alive, and they don't have, they clearly don't have any spark of emotion on their own, and in a weird way they kind of remind you of a little bit of Pidlwick, except they are clearly people of flesh and blood. They're not automated little toys.
During the performance, because Mulek doesn't perform with them, he kind of stays around in the crowd and keeps an eye on things, but Mulek's going to go up to a group of either 2 or 3 where there's at least one person charmed, and strike up a conversation at sort of a quiet point in the performance.
Okay. All right. So you want to talk to somebody? You're going to talk to a male patron or a female patron?
If I see like 2 or 3 guys together, I'm gonna seek them out and go try to strike up a conversation.
All right. So you come over, and one of them looks up at you and says, "Can I help you, friend?"
Oh yeah, my name's Mulek. My friend up there is performing. It's Fallager. How are you enjoying the performance tonight?
Oh, we're enjoying it fine. It's he's very talented. My name is Andre.
Andre, nice to meet you.
This is my friend Simo and our friend Dimitri.
Andre,
And-
Simu, Dimitri. And which one looks like they're out of it?
Actually, both Simu and Dimitri kind of look
Okay.
like they're out of it. And so
So after Andre,
Simu, Dimi, is it that? Oh, there is an extra vowel at the end of that.
so after Andre says that and is enjoying it, and he introduces the others, I go, Simu, how are you enjoying it?
Fine.
Okay. Dimitri, you enjoying it too?
It's fine.
Oh. Andre, your friends here don't seem to be liking it as much as you.
Yes, Simu and Dimitri, they're very tired. They've had a very hard day. I think I'm going to have to get them home so they can get to their bed soon. They very exhausted today.
Insight check on that response. I want to
Okay.
see if he's like making up a story to explain their answers.
The 12, it's hard to tell. He might be trying to cover for them, but he might be telling the truth.
Oh, okay. That's tough. You guys work hard each day. What do you guys do for work?
Oh yes, of course. It's always hard work. There's we work at the work over at the mill. There's always lumber to be milled, and very very challenging work. Sometimes you have to bring the logs in from the forest and go out with the teams to bring them in after the woodcutters cut them.
Yeah, all three of you work at the mill?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Me and my friends were just traveling through. We're new to the area. Interesting town you have here. Understand you got a big festival coming up. Actually, understand you guys have festivals every week.
Yes. The festivals are always something to look forward to. It's very nice of the Burgomeister to set those up. Gives us something to look forward to every week.
Oh.
Have you seen the sign? What is this one about?
Oh, it's like a sun festival. Festival of the Sun.
Oh, Festival of the Sun. Oh, well, that sounds nice. Simo, Dimitri, you'll like the Festival of the Sun, right? And they both say, yes. And the other one says, sounds fine.
Simu, what's been your favorite festival?
Festivals are fine.
Andre, they must seem they look really really tired. I mean, are they this tired every day?
Yes. I think I must be going. Well, Mulek, it was a pleasure talking to you. And now you clearly get the feeling like the longer you talk to him and his friends, the more uncomfortable he is. So he starts making motions like he's going to get up, and as he stands up, the other two, they sort of follow his lead, and they stand up, and he sort of gently puts a hand on their shoulders to sort of turn them towards the door, and the three of them go out, and he leaves some silver on the table for the drinks that they had, and
Mulek just keeps an eye on him, just looking just pondering, thinking what a weird interaction that was.
Yeah. Okay. And on the heels of that interaction, that's where we're going to have to call it for the night, because we are out of time. Players, thank you guys for showing up tonight. Chat, thank you so much for being here. We will be back again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for session 39 of the Sword Coast Chronicles, and see if maybe these guys can find out anything more about what's going on in this God's forsaken town of Vallaki. What will they learn at Lady Wachter's? Will they be able to have a command performance at the palace up on the hill? Will that be a good thing for the party? Will that not be a good thing? Who knows? You'll have to come back and join us for the next session of our game. And as always, before we leave, I would like to give a couple of our players a chance to let you guys know about other things that are coming up. Thaldor, what is going to be coming up this week over at Doors of Fear? The Doors of Fear.
Just on my channel. Nothing tonight. I'm actually feeling under the weather, so I'm going to bed. But tomorrow I should be it could be any number of things. I'm a random game player on Fridays, but actually, correction. So tomorrow, I have plans with a buddy of mine, which is a game, the official gaming with Abe channel. He's coming
Okay.
over to my channel, and we're actually doing a D&D talk. We're going to be he's never played D&D before. We're going to talk about character creation, bring up, Roll20, bring up D&D Beyond, and we're going to create him a character and go through how we do that and explain that to new players.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So if people aren't familiar with that process, that'd be a cool thing. Do you know what time that's going to be, or should people just...
It should be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because he's 2 hours behind me. So
Okay, 8 p.m. Central Time. All right, wonderful. Okay, and Paul, anything you'd like to let the viewers know about between now and next Thursday night that's coming up with you?
Oh, I think it's only fair. We've got I think 2 people from the Action Surge that showed up and enjoyed the sesh. So shout out to the Action Surge, March 31st. It's next Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST for a couple of hours. It's some good dungeon crawling fun with some random item generation that the audience can make up. And every session I've played has been great fun. I don't know if I'll personally be there, but if you have nothing to do on a Wednesday night, that's a good place to go.
Yes, and thank you guys from the Accent Church for showing up. Paul always says a lot of great things about you, and I think you guys are doing a great job over there. As for this channel, between now and next Thursday, we'll have a few more live sessions. Saturday night is going to be a bit of a strange session. Last week, we finished the storyline for the Lost Mine of original D&D, where we were playing through Lost Mine of Phandelver with the original D&D rules. The party, or the players, have indicated they want to keep playing, but they don't want to keep following this storyline. So we're going to give them a chance to each kind of give a little coda of what has happened to their or what happens to their character after the end of this story. And then we're going to start talking to the players about what they want to do next, whether they want to stay with the same original edition rule set, whether they want to play something from another edition of D&D, whatever it happens to be, whether they want to go into some other things. I have a few ideas in mind of things that I could do relatively easily without us skipping a week, but we probably won't be playing an actual D&D session on Saturday. It'll be more like a planning session, a pre-session 0, where the players are giving input on what kind of game they would like to do next, now that we've finished this storyline up. Sunday afternoon, I think we'll be back on schedule with Sunday afternoon. We'll be doing Water of Waterdeep. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on this channel. That is our Planeswalking 5th edition game. I was under the weather last Sunday, so we didn't have a session that day. This will be session 90 of that game on Sunday. They are in the Magic the Gathering plane of Kamigawa, is where our storyline is set right now. And this game features every level we go to a different plane of existence. And sometimes it's planes from the lore of D&D, and sometimes it's planes from the lore of Magic the Gathering. And so that makes it kind of a fun little adventure ride. Then Monday night, we will be doing part 3 of our Monster Monday series on goblins. We've talked about goblins proper. We've talked about goblinoids. This week, we're going to be talking about the religion and culture of goblins, because it's all building up to the 5th and final part of the series, where we'll be talking about how you can build an entire campaign where goblins, goblinoids, and the creatures that are associated with goblins are the antagonists for your PCs, all the way from level 1 through level 20. There's so many different kinds of goblins and goblinoids, and they touch so many different things that you could have a veritable, society of goblins that kind of are an antagonist throughout your entire campaign. So that's what we're kind of building up to in that series. Then, of course, Thursday night we will be back here. All right, I am going to go put this on the slate. I'm not going to bring the music up this time because that's so complicated, but I am going to go over and try to find somebody else from the Game Rebel Network that we can raid. So let me go see who is about and who is available that we can raid tonight. Let's see. We've got some Black Ops, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Paladins, Apex Legends, Phasmophobia. Oh, that's us. Okay, Valorant. Okay, I guess Black Ops Cold War. We'll go ahead and we will raid Zodiac Killer. So let me go ahead and grab that. And then we will do raid. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We're going to send you over to Zodiac Killer so you can watch some of his Call of Duty.
Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's being slow. Okay. Take care of you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you next Thursday. Good night, everybody. And